Wi-Fi died on him a little bit,
Um,
so we gotta wait for Tick
let
to
me
come
see.
back alive. He's gonna do a little round trip.
There we go.
So
Come
wait for
on.
Tick to get back so we can get the live stream back up again as well. And
I'm
just wait for that to happen. Meanwhile, say hello to what is this? OX Rugs. Let's go.
Hello, guys. How you guys doing? This is actually a wonderful space. Very amazing to be here, guys. I just wanted to shoot in on Solana.
Hmm.
I might go.
But Tick has trouble.
yes. I'm back.
Elon
I'm back.
has got
Come
him
on.
in the
Is
black
it?
hole. That's what you get if you buy
I'm.
Fartcoin, you guys.
Fuck.
There
What
you
is going
go.
on here?
There you go. So yeah, but I'm just gonna take it from here then. OX Rug. So tell me what you're about, on what chain you are, what we should look at, why this is.
Having patience. A lot of the gens out there, they don't tend to have patience, but patience talking is all about having patience. And also, patience is on the Solana blockchain with a really, really base dev, and is also doxed and also comes on X Lives like mostly every single day. The patience dev is also like tech developer. He built his own volume bots. He built his own website, and we are working on some to 20K. Pay cap has been fluctuating for a while, but patience is building, and we believe that we're gonna build something great out of this.
Awesome. Well, I'm gonna allow you to do one pin up in the jumbotron here for your project.
Yes.
If you want to go
What's the
ahead and
project?
do
I'm
that, pick
sorry.
something nice. All right. Thank
What's
you.
the project? I'm sorry. I just got
It's
back in.
yeah. Tick just got back into the space. It's OX Rugs right here, and shilling, and so he's gonna do a pin up the. I couldn't hear that much because the thing is, I was also trying to get Tick back up, look at the live stream, do all that. We kind of went off a little slippery slope here with Tick. I'm glad to have you back, Tick.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes. Cool.
cool, cool.
Sorry
Um,
about that.
yeah, no problem. But you're allowed to pick something up. Everybody is welcome here on stage all the time, right? We're trying to pump your bag. If we think it's bullish, we're gonna cut it up and let you have some shorts on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube as well. So yeah, welcome people on YouTube. Welcome people on X. Let's go have like a little bit of maybe a musical intermezzo here, so I can actually just grab a drink before we move on. Let's go ahead and prepare that. No, go to the
I'm
crypto
trying to
playlist.
make an S&P 500 video right now. I'm kind of playing around with some stuff to see what I can come up with.
Yeah. You go ahead and do that. If you can, challenge you to do it while I play the song.
Yeah, yeah. I got it
Hey.
up on the live feed. If are they still in here? Oh, he left.
No,
Shoot.
but the community is still
Oh,
here.
that's funny.
So
But
let's
yeah,
go.
I'm doing it on the live stream. If anyone's watching, that's what I'm doing right here.
Now I want to see some emojis. Yo, I'm deep in the day X chasing that glow. Moonbag dreams, watch my tokens all grow. Gas feasting, but I'm riding the hype. FOMO's got me clicking at 3 a.m. right. Mimicorn fever, I'm a DJ supreme. Chilling on X, living life for the meme. Talk to wild ride, green candles, my muse, but a rug's around the corner and I'm bound to lose. Slippage hitting hard, yeah, I'm slipping too fast. Rug pulling my soul, but the thrill's gonna last. Yeah, it's got no face and the contract's a lie. Still I'm diving head first, cause I'm that kind of guy. Just wanna rug you all night long. Pump it to the moon, then the floor's where we're on. Crypto DJ style, yeah, we chase that spark. Rug you in the light, leave me broke in the dark. Airdrop alerts, I'm claiming that drip. But the wallet's drained, yo, I fell for the script. NFTs popping, caught the frog for $1,000. Now the floor's at zero, just a JPEG in hand. Discord's a zoo, she'll scream to the top of the charts, free falling, and my heart's gonna drop. Still, I'm all in, double down, no regret. Cause the DJ's got a DJ, that's the life that I bet. Slip is hitting hard, yeah, I'm slipping too fast. Rug pulling my soul, but the thrill's gonna last. Dev's got no face and the contract's a lie. Still I dive in head first cause I'm that kind of guy. I just wanna rock you all night long. Pump it to the moon and the floor's where we're on. Crypto DJ style, yeah we chase that spark. Rug you in the light, leave me broke in the dark. Smart contracts are trapped, yo, still in my stack. Devs on a yacht and they ain't coming back. X is buzzing, calling Fart on the plate. But I'm still in love with this DJ ballet. From the bull run highs to the bear market sting. Rug polo man's my favorite thing. One more trade, so I'm quitting the game. But you rug me again and I'm back in the flame. I just wanna rug you all night long. Pump it to the moon and the floor's where we're on. Crypto DJ style, yeah we chase that spark. Rug you in the light, leave me broke in the dark. To the DJs out there with the lords on the floor. Rug goes boss, yeah we're living it all. From the scams we trust to the bags we bust. I just wanna rug you, cause it's crypto or dust. Let me know if you wanna tweak the vibe or have more DJ flair. Explain multiple scams, NFT market trends. Make it catchy, make it catchy,
All right. I hope you guys like that. I'm just so into playing all these crypto songs. I hope you're bullish on those too. I think we should be doing more in music and crypto. I think crypto is so very early here. I noticed last bull run there were a few hits from Dill, GMGM, right? The Huddle Gang was a part of that too, and I think we're gonna go there. So if you're musically inclined, then I'm challenging you to make a music NFT or do something with it, because this area of making music, artists in that area can really do well in monetizing themselves, make use of that decentralization and self-governance in crypto, right? Don't be gatekept by music industry. Just bring what you got. If people like it, they'll mint it. And so it's nice to have songs, especially maybe Bitcoin related, crypto related. We love that stuff because this is our world, right? And we relate to that. So yeah, Tick, are you fully back?
Yeah, I made a video for S&P 500.
No,
Yeah,
that
I'm
quick.
not. Yeah, I should be rocking a Wizards hat, not the cowboy hat. But
uh,
the
yeah.
the video's cool. It's I guess it kind of gets the point. I mean, I was just kind of playing around. It's I wish I had spent a little bit more time on it, but it's a start. And here I just I'm posting it on the S&P 500. Let me see, Solana page right now on their X page. So S&P 500,
Bullish. Thank
and
you
then
for doing
I'll
that,
go ahead
Tick.
and
You
yeah,
always
I want to make some more.
such a
No.
good support for the projects out there. And with that, if you have some time and you made your little post there, can you then pull up the Digital Dog website for me, please? Because I
Yes.
got to do my shill here
Yeah.
as well.
Check out the video. I just pinned it to the jumbo. Let me know what you guys think. Let's see some hearts if you guys are
Yeah.
liking
Engage
that.
with that first. Yes,
Let me
yes,
know what
yes.
you think. And then Nicole, I got the Dojo Dogs on the display.
Yeah, yeah.
Speaking of
Let's go ahead
animations,
and everybody just go to the jumbotron. There's oh, that is actually quite funny. That's well done. Yes,
you like
bullish. Let's
that?
put it up at bullish. I like it.
A little degen at the casino with the
Yeah,
penguins and Pepe.
yeah.
It doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. It wasn't exactly what I was going for, but I mean, it turned out. I mean, it's still something
And
that
you
moves.
came up with something so quick. We just played a song and you kind of like cooked this up so quickly. So better
Yeah.
and better every day. We get better and better every day. You guys need to challenge yourself to be better and better every day, right? That's how we roll out here. That's how I live my life. 2,000 extra day. Even your bags are not pumping, but you can still make pumpy happen for yourself, right? You got to pump your own bags and toot your own horn. Nobody's going to do that for you.
True.
Yeah, before I'm gonna talk to anybody else, I am gonna do my shill, and I'm shilling Dojo Dogs. So we pulled up the Dojo website. Um, go ahead and look at that people on YouTube and people on X. Dojo dogs, you must have seen them before, right? On your timeline, max engaging. That's what they do. This is a dog pack, and it was a free mint a little over a year ago, holding like anywhere between a 2 and 3 grand floor right now. I mean, that's a good job for a free mint to get there. Most NFT projects not going to make a .com, but this one has that golden touch, and I can tell you this is going to be a tier 1 collection. So yes, go to the Dojo Dog website. From there, you can visit the doggy market. Right, it is on Doge Chain, so bullish there too. So yeah, if you want to join this community, but you're not sure if you want to buy an NFT, yeah, maybe you still need to save up, or you just want to get a whiff of everything first, or maybe you're never gonna buy an NFT, right? You can still be part of this community, and that's because they have an edge. They have something special, and it's called the Starter Dogs. You can go to the Dojo Dog website, get yourself a starter dog, which you can somewhat accustomed to yourself, right? With some colors and stuff. So, and then you can change your PFP, join the community, get all alpha, and how you're max engaging, how to make your brand stand out, how to build your brand, right? There are a lot of low fee subscriptions about learning all that stuff, but there's alpha in spaces all the time that's for free. So you can join this community, watch what happens when you change your profile picture through this. I tell you, your X is gonna be booming within no time, and you're gonna learn how to engage on X and how to make it right. So yes, but also very much in like 4 days. There's this New York get together. This is what I'm bullish on as well, even though I don't have time to go, which is like making me cope really hard, but that's just the way it is. They are doing these real life events and things, and it's just you want that because we are more than just a PFP, and in spaces we are more than just a voice. And it's so powerful to see people face to face. I go to Bitcoin conferences all the
Mm-hmm.
time and meetups and whatnot. It's good to talk to people and have that real life engagement as well, because we're
Right.
human and we need this, right? And it's
Yeah.
bullish.
Well,
And
I
I
feel
think,
like I
yeah.
feel like boots on the ground is such like a bullish
Oh,
indicator,
powerful.
because actually seeing that, okay, there's actually real life people that are members of this community, and it's not
Yeah.
just a bunch of like AI bots that are just copy trading.
Well, funny
You know.
enough, because the Dojo dogs are so powerful on the timeline, a lot
Yeah.
of people thought that they were bots, but we're
Yeah.
not. We're
I
actually,
would, yeah, it would seem like it because there's just so many
yeah,
pixel art, little
yeah,
pixel art dogs that maybe
yeah.
if somebody's not like crypto native, they would just look at that and
Are
be like, oh,
and
that
they're
must be an indicator that it's
at,
a bot.
at least under every post. At least one, right? If
Yeah.
not, if not a ton, because usually they're all over the place. But you know it's such a great community, and I really think that if you're in crypto and you're doing this whole X thing and you're out on social media, being with the community is kind of keeping you a little bit safe too, and a little bit sane. And even if I got these NFTs, I got two of them months ago, but I'm not selling. This investment that I made has already put me in the plus on other fronts so far, that I this was completely worth it, even if I do not make money on the NFTs. So even, let alone leave the trade here, right? Just getting all the alpha, meeting new people, extending my network. That is such a plus for me that I already 100x that bag over there, as far as what I got in knowledge, engagement, free alpha. Just it's amazing. So be with a community, pick a community. If you're not Dojo Dog community, something else, right? But
Mm.
try and hook up with people. Network is net worth.
I don't
And
know
even
how
though,
many
yeah,
requests I get per day, or like people that add me follows. I get
yeah,
like probably like 10 dogs that follow me a day, members of the Dojo
yeah,
Dogs community,
yeah,
and I interact with them and I engage with them and I engage with their
yeah,
posts, and it's reciprocated, and like it's nice feeling like you're on the same team as the people in the community. There's not because I mean I don't want to go into like a negative thing, but I was going to just say that, not all communities are built the same, and not
no,
everyone kind of interacts with each other the same. And like, I really enjoy like the concept of things being drama free. And for the most part, I feel like I see that in the Dojo Dogs, that there's not a whole lot of drama. Everyone's pretty chill with each other, and and they work towards building each other up. You don't see people trying that. You don't see the fear of
Well,
other
honestly,
people envy, and like people having fear of other people's success and stuff like that. You see that sometimes in other
exactly,
communities. Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
Well, that's exactly what drew me to this community because I've had some friends in before that, and some of my crypto BFFs, right, started to
Mm-hmm.
be in this community, and they were like, "Wow, you got to get in," and I was like, "Yeah, well, yeah, what's this about?" And as soon as I had some time to learn about this community, I was like, "Yes, this is going to be my crew," because they love to see people win, and they understand the concept of having other people win and then
Mm-hmm.
you win the
Right. Winning
same or
together.
even harder.
Yeah.
Yes, but
Yeah.
even harder, right? And that is exactly the algorithm of X is all about this.
Yeah.
When
Yeah.
you engage, the X engages harder with you,
Right.
right? But when you start to feel like a petty little bee because somebody didn't say good morning back to you, that's where shits break down, right? So you gotta have fun, make other people win. I'm all about this. I'm doing that in my job, in my real life. I've been all about this all my life, right? Because that is really where it's at, guys. We are all having a superpower and we can all help each other rise up, right? And we can do that together. And when you
Yeah.
help other people rise up, you are rising even harder, right? You are
Right.
winning even harder. So get this, and this community really gets this, right?
Right.
You give, and when you give you get a lot more back, and it really really works. And the starter dogs are the cherry on the cake that really really drive this point home.
True.
You can join this community for free. You do not need to buy the NFT, right? But somehow that made the floor rise.
Yeah.
Yeah, see how this works. So yeah, if you want to be a part of that, go ahead and go to that Dojo Dog website, go look on the doggy market, or just grab yourself a free starter dog, and we'll see you on the timeline. Let's
Yeah.
go. All
Yeah. It's
right, let
good.
me go ahead and say, yeah, MetaX is fifth. MetaX community member. Let's have it. MetaX, good morning.
Good morning, Wild, and thank you
Good
so much
morning.
for the Dotional Dogs shout out.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, always. See, that's what I like to do. I like to be on the edge of things, like crossing chains, right? Overlapping projects, right, and get it known. And that's what the Dojino Dogs are about too.
Mm-hmm.
So even though I'm bullish on all the Dojino Dog spaces that are just being, visited by Dojino Dogs, but I do uh, believe and see that for some people it might be a little bit intimidating to see all these dogs in there, and then you want to request up on stage and you kind of feel like the odd one out because your PFP doesn't match the rest in there, like 99% of the people in there. That can be a little daunting. So for when I was opening these spaces, I was like, no, I want to be they have a welcome for everybody, and then have some room for talk about doginal dogs as well. And most of the time, I'm not every day I do this show, maybe once every so often, because I know people know the doginal dogs, right, and they recognize our PFPs as well. So you're shilling it automatically already in a sense. But yeah, there's that. I see some vault community coming. I need to do a shout out again for the vault community. They're always engaging too on a timeline. They have been grinding for years, you guys. That project, Vault Inu, is from last bull run, but never stop building. They have built so much around this, so much community. If you would make a post about Vault, you watch what happens there too. So I just want to do a little bit of shout out there too. I see Aubrey from the 1000X community. Welcome, welcome, and welcome everybody again on the YouTube live stream and on the X live stream. Glad to have you with us. Tick, do you have something still on the menu for us?
I just had the Volt Inu page up for a second. Um,
Yes. Let's
but
pull that up.
yeah,
Let's pull that.
you had reminded me of something when we were talking about watching people win together and everything, and like, okay, yeah, it might be great to have that intention, and it's easier said than done, but we actually see this play out like with just every day when we see projects succeeding, even if we're not holding a bag with that project, we are so happy to see our community win. The members of our community that maybe their portfolio is diversified in a way that they are, holding a bag, and we see them succeeding, and it's like it's a great feeling. I don't look at those people with like envy, like, oh shoot, well, what do I got to do so that to get a piece of what they're getting? You know what I mean? It's like I just that's the one thing that I just wanted to kind of like touch on that I really
Yeah,
like that
I'm
about
happy that
these.
you're
Yeah.
saying that because I bless everybody who gets the green candles, right? Even if I'm
Mm-hmm.
not in it,
Right.
because I'm very secure where I am at my
Mm-hmm.
bags, and it just tells me that if you can, that I can too. It
Mm-hmm.
shows me the
Exactly.
possibility of this
Exactly.
happening to me, so I'm happy for you,
Right.
because I'm going to be happy for myself too when that happens, right? So if your bags can pump, means my bags can pump too. So
Right.
I'm equally enjoying your win there.
Right.
Never be coming from a negative end and start rotating and chasing things, right? If you believe in what you're holding, then the volume is going to come for you. You need to understand the time in the market versus timing the market, and I've been really trying to teach Tick this concept of, the whole reason your bag's not pumping yet because it's not time to do so. And you
Mm-hmm.
should be bullish on the fact that you're going to have a little bit more time to do your dollar cost average and that kind of stuff,
Yeah.
because when it starts happening, these pumps, you're going to wish you put in more. I have big bags all over the place,
Hmm.
but still when they pump, I'm like, wow, if I just put in a little bit more,
Yeah.
I could have bought an island already, right?
Right.
And so you will always have that, no matter how long you DCate. When the pumps are there, you're gonna be like, oh man, I should not have gotten these new sneakers. I should have bought more Bitcoin, right? I should have done. You're gonna have shoulda, coulda, woulda all over the place because the bags are pumping sky high. It's just that that is not happening right now. So it's really, you got to do, uh, stick with your plan on what you have planned, because it will unfold in the end. We're not there yet. Bitcoin is very much in a bull run, you guys, very much. But the rest of the market isn't. That's just reality, right? They have not made all time highs. Bitcoin is on its bull run. And Bitcoin will provide us with all that volume. So if you're crying that you want to have it all being all season right now and you want your bags to pump right now, then I'm sorry to tell you, but Bitcoin, I would rather have an all season when Bitcoin is like 200K than right here, because that just means we're going to have an extra 3 trillion trickling into the market and we're going to have so much fun. And I don't care how long it takes, right? You should stay liquid for opportunity enough, do your DCA strategy, but stop chasing things, because when that volume comes in and all season starts, that chasing that you did, that behavior is going to get you wrecked so
Yeah.
hard, because the
Yeah.
people who bought these bottoms, they are the ones 1000xing stuff on the frequently. All their bags were pumping so hard, right? And you'll be sitting there with, because you never took a position, you just rotated in and out,
Yeah.
possibly got liquidated in between a few times and had to start over with all of that, trying to flip your bags. And I really like Murad in the space. No, I'm a fan.
He's dope.
But he posted something that I was like, are you kidding me?
What did he
Right.
post?
Well, he posted something like, well, you start with $50, then you flip it into
Oh yeah.
100, then you flip it into 200, and
Right.
then eventually you will have 100K.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Easy.
yes. Well, I give you 3 4 of these flips at most before you get
Yeah.
totally liquidated because
Yeah.
of a rug,
For
right?
sure.
So that is just not realistic. It's not realistic. It's not a good strategy at all. It's actually a strategy to get wrecked as soon as possible, and then you're out of bags. And so you gotta have a portfolio that has some risk management. Get some alts, still play your memes, but do that with then the money that you expect basically to lose or to moonbag over a longer period of time. So you gotta pretend like that money is not there, right? Don't think that you can make bread on the daily in crypto just by flipping around, because one day you'll succeed, but the
Yeah.
other day you will get totally wrecked
Most of the
and
time you won't.
liquidated.
Yeah.
Yes, and that happens too much in this space,
Yeah.
right? This
Yeah.
is not a
Fuck.
sustainable strategy. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're better off buying lottery tickets. If you're in real life telling other people, hey, what do you got going on for your financial outlook in 5 years from now, and you're saying seriously with a straight face, like, yes, I'm buying scratch tickets and lottery tickets.
Yeah. I remember there were so many
Yeah.
times where I would like follow that kind of like recipe. This is gonna sound so stupid, but I would do that and make like I'd be up a couple grand in like a few days from doing that, just from flipping a bag all the way up from like 20 or $50. And by a few days I'd be up like a couple grand, and then I would get rugged. I'd put like a larger bag on a riskier meme coin, and then $500 gone in a second. And then you do that a couple more times, then that $2,000 I'd accumulated
Yep.
over the course of a few
Yeah.
days, like 3 days, I'm like, oh damn, I made like
You
three
can get a lucky streak.
Yeah,
But you're never
it's
gonna
crazy.
risk manage because
Yeah,
you're not used to risk manage. So you're gonna go all in and try to do it, but then with bigger amounts, and
and
that
then
is
get
just
liquidated.
you're repeating insanity all over and over again, expecting it to work, and it will
Yeah,
not. Because this is just that it is something that just breaks off. So
it's
if
a
you just
lifestyle.
if you get lucky like that, you guys, come on, buy a little bit of Bitcoin with that, buy a little bit of whatever pick something in the top 10, two or three DCA in on those if you got
Yeah.
to, right? Just to keep that
talking.
money safe, right?
Jesus.
Because you're just gonna degen harder because you think this is now the recipe to go, and then yeah, one rug, along the way, and then you're back at square one, and it's frustrating. It takes energy. It takes your time. You're gonna be sitting there looking at the screen way too long. And you're gonna be bearish and being emotionally triggered all the freaking time. How is this healthy, right? Also for your own sanity. So not to say that I don't teach, I teach it all the time. Actually, look, I'm hanging out with Bitcoin people frequently, and I try to do more so in the future. And they think of me as one big degen. So if you guys think that I'm this brainy crypto person, right, they don't see that at all. I am so degen in their eyes. It's not even funny, right? And I try
Yeah.
and trigger them all the time with taking my meme coin, um, like a meme coin keychain or something I have with me when I go there, and they're like, "Oh, see, it's a meme coin," and I'm just like, "Yeah, but I'm bullish on meme coins just because you heckle me,
Yeah.
right? Just
Yeah.
because you
That's
heckle me,
awesome.
I'm bullish on them, right?" So, but yeah, just realize this, right? And so, but you can do a combination of both and keep yourself safe and do the X's over time, right? Time in the market versus timing that market. And if you want to learn how to trade, then do so, right? Spend 10 minutes a day to learn about candlestick price action, pattern price action, that kind of stuff. Just 10 minutes a day make you 1,000% better of a trader because you now have some insight. Just don't try and translate that back to meme coins who are just launched and first pumpies because that shit won't work. They don't adhere to technical
Yeah.
analysis at all,
Right.
right? Yeah. So so yeah, with that, just keep yourself safe and risk manage your portfolio. Your money is worth it. You worked hard for this, right? Flipping bags around is not how you should treat your money. At least not with all of it, right? You can do like me, do partial DJ,
Yeah.
part-time DJ,
Yeah.
freelance DJ.
Maybe like 1% of your total, you know,
Not
whatever.
yeah, for me, it's not. It's maybe 2% of my portfolio,
Hmm.
and maybe your portfolio is less. I get that, and I get that you see you. I know that in crypto we have this dream of there's they told me there would be Lambos and Moon, and that yes, that is very much true. You can make a lot of money in crypto, but you cannot just go willy nilly. First of all, it's just yeah because you don't know how to put together a portfolio, so you don't know what to do. And then there's this thing that when we buy, it's easy, right? We know we buy, we press that buy button, but how many times are we pressing the sell button? Well, I can
Hmm.
tell you right now, not enough. 95% of people in crypto do not sell, they round trip. So, just have a look in this room with us, right? And if you're looking at the live stream, just realize this. 95% that's you, right? So you gotta understand this, and so you got to realize like, okay, I did all this buying. What about the selling end? What is my exit strategy? Right. And so figure that out. A DCA in requires also a DCI out strategy. And that's how you exit. And so, how do you do that? Well, when you DCA in, you do that over a longer period of time. And then when you see the chart is always down more than it's up. So, naturally, over time, it is time in the market versus timing market. You will naturally buy more of the floor than you do the tops or the pumps. And so your average will be pretty good. So when things are starting to pump, that takes a shorter period of time, right? The pumps are not the whole chart, right? It's usually a tiny spike in the chart. So on that spike, you want to reverse DCA. So what you do is you start selling smaller amounts in the pump gradually to more and more and more. And that automatically makes you sell a lot more near the top than you do in the beginning of the pump. That is an exit strategy that is applicable and applied at large, and it's a winning strategy. So because when you look at back on the chart, you can clearly tell where you should have bought and where you should have sold. You know, hindsight is 2020. But then when you start buying, all of a sudden the chart doesn't adhere to what you thought it was going to do, and so that's why these strategies work. Also, we cannot call the tops. I call them often, even on a wick. Uh, but I've been doing this for a long time, right? And somehow I sometimes I'm even not successful. So I always use that exit strategy as well because it's easier for me. I hold a lot of bags, so that strategy is just easier for me to hold on to than doing TA on so many tokens all the time. So you know that is an exit strategy. And then guys, off ramp strategy, because then you know we got some USDT, but how is that going to translate to any of the dreams that you want to see realized in your life? Have you thought about that? If you've not, you gotta think about that too. What does that look like in your country? How are we dealing taxes there, right? Um, are you exempt for anything? Can you invest in anything? That's different country to country, so it's going to be different for each of us. But that off ramping process is going to be something you're going to be paying attention to, because if you did your exit DCA, you are going to have a lot of profit, and you got to have a plan with that profit as well. And a part of that, I hope, is going to be, you know, realizing some real life dreams, paying off maybe your mortgage, right? Buying maybe what you like, getting maybe a Lambo, I don't know, right? But whatever that means for you. But you got to think about that too, because you know if you cannot visualize any of that or realize any of that, at least on paper or in your mind, you are never going to get there. I'm sorry to say that. You got to have clear goals with that. Know what to do. Be ready when that time comes, or
Hmm.
else you're going to be round tripping because you're going to think it's going to last forever, right? So you gotta have these plans.
Watching it, thinking, oh, it can still 10x. Yeah, it can still
Yes,
10x. Yeah.
no, that's why you do that exit strategy, because that is something that everybody has, right? They think you think it's going to last forever. People, Bitcoin's making another all-time high. Everybody on the timeline was like, yes, 130 by next week. Well, we're 3 weeks ahead now, and no 130K Bitcoin, and you know, it does not last forever. Usually, when everybody calls for more and higher, that's kind of where the top is in, and it's kind of like a sell indicator for me always. And then you know, I look at Bitcoin, and I'm like, no, I don't see 130K Bitcoin. Well, wait for it; will happen, right? Just not within that time frame. And so, but yeah, it can make other people, you know, lose patience because they think, yeah, well, they were saying Bitcoin at all time, it's not happening, you know. And so if you keep to just an exit strategy, just anytime it pumps that you're selling something, you're always going to have liquidity and you're always going to be in profit. And that liquidity is needed because if there's any more tiers to buy, you then have some liquidity to buy them with. Because a lot of people, you know, it's like buy the dip, and then people are under the commenting like, what, you know,
Hmm.
with what, with what?
Yeah.
I gotta work overtime now and mint me some fiat to buy the dip. No,
Jeez.
you should have taken a little bit. You should have taken some haircuts, 10%, 20% on pumps.
Or you got people on your TG saying, "Hey, bro, can you send me point one soul to buy the dip or whatever?" And you're like, "Dude, what the?" You're like, "I don't even know
What the
you."
hell?
One,
I don't even know.
get out of my DM, like, dude. Yeah, that was
Oh
like
my God.
last cycle. I was getting a lot of people hitting me up for like Solana. And I'm thinking to myself, like, damn, you got yourself wrecked that bad. And first of all, if you think that I'm gonna give you more Solana to get yourself even to go burn that too, to go spread that into the ecosystem, like, are you crazy? Because
No
it's,
crying in the casino,
whew,
bitches.
yeah, dude, it was rough though.
I
You know,
last bull run.
yeah.
Actually, a lot of people that I actually knew in the space were actually hitting me up like, "Hey, you have some ETH?" Because
Oh
the gas
no,
fees were so
dude,
slapping.
yeah, it's like, yeah,
It was, yeah, people were having like you know, doing like $200 in some ETH token, and then it did like a 10x, but then it cost like $580 to
yeah,
do the to do the swap,
yeah,
and they were like, "I don't have enough money to
right,
swap. Can you
right,
can you borrow me
dude,
some?"
that's crazy.
some
Yeah,
ETH? that was going. I've heard a lot of people just have some ETH. I need to swap. You get it
Yeah.
back from me.
Yeah.
I
They
just need to
can't
get
get
out of the
their
trade.
they
Yeah,
can't pull
yeah,
their they can't pull their money out
yeah.
because they don't even have any a liquidity left to even do that. Or
No.
the whole pain in the ass too of like loading up the ETH to do the swap, and it's like, dude, there's so many
With that
times where I
fee.
went to sell and it's like you insufficient balance, ETH balance or whatever, and
Yes.
I'm like, ah, shit, and you got to like go into your wallet or go into the exchange and do the
Well,
transfer
actually,
and
people, yeah, but there were also people
phew,
saying like, "What am I? I gonna have to skip my rent to get this trade out to get my
damn, dude,
back."
that's such a like a scary situation to be in. Yeah, don't put
Yeah,
yourself in that position. Do yourself a favor. Learn from
yeah,
these mistakes. Don't
yeah.
practice that
Well,
insanity.
I don't think we're gonna deal with gas fees that hard anymore in
Yeah.
Ethereum in that regard because a lot has been fixed. But yeah, it's still expensive, right? These when the GOE goes up, it's still expensive. That's how a lot of people don't know, but Ethereum is deflationary through the gas fees. So it's only Ethereum is deflationary, but only in a bull run, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
When that rocks really hard.
Yeah. Otherwise,
And
it's the
so
opposite,
learn about Ethereum, you
and
guys.
otherwise, it's inflated
Yeah,
quite a bit.
yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah. So, but that happened a lot. Also, realize that interaction with a contract is also a determining part of the gas fees, and that's on any chain. So, if you don't know, but you might be interacting with a more complex a code in the contract that requires a lot more chains blocks to go through, and that will add up. Um, in your gas fees. So it's not all the same. So usually these older contracts that you're dealing with, they still have a lot of that complexity in it, and the newer ones, and that's why I'm so bullish on the rebuilds of Ethereum. So the newer ones have that all, fished out already. We know this already. Devs are becoming more skilled too. That's why a good skilled dev is invaluable for any project. In that way because they can actually work the contract around so it can has have the lowest gas fees possible, and that's going to be bullish for the project, right? You don't want to get slammed with the gas fees like that, especially on Ethereum. And it can really make a difference. It can make a difference with a $20 swap or a $54 swap. It can really be that drastic. Also on BNB, you see that a lot too, because even BNB is cheap, so nobody's really complaining about it. But sometimes it can a good contract can save you half the gas fees for that project. So uh, just uh, just know that that is going on too. If you didn't understand any of that before, right? This is why these things happen. So the more complex a contract is, the more gas fees, because it needs to have a lot more information going through, and that's what you're paying for in the end on a blockchain. That's how it works. So yeah, uh,
Yeah.
but yeah.
I'm
I
trying to
still like
figure out.
Ethereum though. I still like it. The trading on there is just hella relaxed, right? And because the smaller bags just won't trade as much back and forth because of the gas fees. It's very much a whale chain, and the whales there are so chill that they're ready. They're willing to let bags cook because when you're a whale, you don't. It doesn't matter if your $1,000 or $2,000 hangs around for a few months.
Mm, mm-hmm.
It's
Yeah.
okay.
Right.
You don't need that. I don't need to. Whales don't need to pay rent, right? They're not working with rent money.
Yeah. Yeah.
So but that said, I'm bullish on the chains that can do fast and big because they are gonna have a lot more say into Web 2, right? Into uh, with that in Ethereum, of course. Ethereum itself is going to be next to impossible reaching that level, and so the rebuilds of Ethereum are going to have to pick that up for Ethereum. But then the fastest chain right now is going to be Sui, and they're going to have a leg up with that because
Mm-hmm.
it's significantly faster, not just a little, right?
Yeah.
Big difference there.
Well, and like, one thing to take into consideration is countries that have adopted Bitcoin, for instance. One of the pitfalls is the insane amount of time that it takes to do a transfer. So unless you have an exchange that's facilitating this, it's a hurdle. So anyway, that's why XRP and XLM are so
Yes,
popular
excellent.
in
Stellar Lumen,
Asia
right?
because you go to
You're reading my. You're
Yeah.
reading my mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the thing about Sui though, is that so the people, so that goes to show, okay, people want speed. We need speed for actual, like, transactions and using it as a currency in real life, and so, and XLM
Well,
and XRP are dinosaurs at this point, and we, with the security and the infrastructure that Sui has, it's kind of the next obvious step in the progression of things.
absolutely. I was very bullish. I am still somewhat bullish on Stellar Lumen. I guess that they got really stunned.
Yeah.
XRP got really stunned, and Stellar Lumen is a part of XRP ecosystem, um, just like their financial sister token is, right? But they got really stunned with that lawsuit, right? And that really
Mm-hmm.
that stagnated so much in that area because that was doing so well. I think everybody was so bullish on Stellar Lumen for bringing that peer-to-peer fast transactions like
Yeah.
that, and being also one of the trailblazers in that at the time, and they were pretty much taken off. And then boom, right, for XRP, that lawsuit hit, and then it stunned the whole all these projects moving forward. And so yeah, but we cannot, no crying here. We got to move on. And then yeah, bullish on I'm just bullish on blockchains that are doing that because it's going to help the overall adoption of crypto. So even if I would not hold Sui at all, I would still be bullish on Sui for trailblazing the rest of my bags, right, in this way, indirectly. And so we got to cheer that on, right? Any new technology, anything that can help us uh, bring crypto to the masses and mass adoption, we should be cheering that on from all sides, even if you're not holding it, um, because in the end it's going to help your bags out too
Yeah.
if you're holding something bullish, right? And so the only thing that I find a little bit bearish right now, and I think it's because the market's down and the rest of the tokens are still bearish. I have a thing. I mean, I don't mind it that much, but I like my meme coins to be just meme coins. And now I see a lot of meme coins. They try to be utility coins, and I'm like, cut it out. I just want a meme coin. I just want to have fun. That's for me about the ticker, about the community there. I'm not looking for another DEX. I'm not looking for another wallet here, right? Or a bot this or a generator from this. I'm not right. I'm past that. I just want my memes to be memes. And because I think the memes started, well, I know the memes started because there was so much utility that was shady utility. They kind of, sold themselves as utility while the utility itself was not that bullish.
Oh yeah,
And that's
vaporware.
why, yeah, well, that's why meme tokens went all out because they were like, you know what, we're just gonna call it what it is,
Right.
which is the meme token,
Yeah.
right? And we can do it too. So don't be all about like, yes, but I'm utility token, right? And have bullshit utility that's not applicable at all, or some mirage of utility
Yeah.
that's there. And that's where meme tokens really took off in crypto, right? Just they really laid that bare that some utility tokens were meme tokens in disguise, right? So,
Mm-hmm.
so I really like my meme tokens just to be meme tokens, and I don't know why community always calls like, yeah, build something. Why? It's a meme token.
Yeah.
What do you want me? You want me to build a layer one blockchain? That's not gonna jive.
Yeah.
Also, people who buy meme tokens don't get usually 90% of, and that's not to be derogatory. That's you. You don't need to. You can make money in crypto without knowing any of the technology. But you're gonna make people feel stupid because there's gonna be a meme coin coming on stage going like, yes, and we got this, aggregator, Dex, and people who just bought the meme coin like, what the hell is this? They're gonna feel slightly stupid, not because they're stupid, right? But now the meme token suddenly is acting like they're the next XRP. That's not what I came for, right? I would have bought XRP.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah, yeah,
yeah, it's kind of weird.
yeah.
It's just because it's like, okay, so I'm going to be using the meme in my utility. It's like, it's kind of, it's like, I don't know. It's like, it'd be like going to like a Doge, gas station or something.
Yeah.
It's
And
like,
so that's what like the ticker Bitcoin, that token, Sonic 10 Inu, right? I don't know
mhm.
if you guys know, it's still alive and well. I got in on that so early too. It's such fun because they really laid that bear too, right? That utility thing. They were calling themselves Bitcoin, and all they got was no. We have no. There's no blockchain. It's just the people's Bitcoin. This is for the people like memes. It's going to be their Bitcoin, and we're going to $1, and that has been the lore. And then they actually came pretty close to that too, from 1K
she.
to multi mil. No, they went, I think they went to 260 mil or something like
Wow.
that. Crazy.
That's
Just
sick.
delusional
It's like
boost, just
20
being
over
delusional on
25
the meme.
cents.
Yeah.
Damn.
No, that was crazy, that token, just by calling it take a Bitcoin. Now it's the meme
Yeah.
people's Bitcoin. We don't need utility, right? Because we have that, that meme last bull run too. We see that guy with his golden chains and like, I'm in it for the tech. Yeah, right. That was kind of like the like, I'm in it for the tech. No way. Most of us are here for the money. Don't pretend.
Hell yeah.
Right? And that's why meme coins are so hot. I like my meme coins just to be meme coins, and keep pointing that out, because there is still these utility, especially in the AI, you guys. You got to, in the AI, uh, yeah, that's fun. It's actually a party. Dankjewel. Yeah, in the AI, there's a lot of this shady going on, right? They call themselves an AI token, trying
Yeah.
to eat from that AI narrative, but all they got in the TG is like an AI generator for a PFP, and I'm just like, really?
Yeah.
That's your utility? And now you're going to call yourself an AI token? You're nothing but a buffed up meme token. Get out of here, right?
Yeah.
But at least then don't pretend,
I
right?
don't know
Don't
why
pretend that.
Swarm Node AI has just moved sideways for like the last like 8 months, and it was actually very bullish. A lot of whales were holding Swarm Node AI, and I wonder how many whales are still on that one. Let me see. I was just looking at it. You're familiar with Swarm Node AI, right? That
Yeah.
one's moved. It's SNAI. So that one has.
Yeah.
Oh, it only has 6 whale trades and only 3 whales holding it. But there was a time when the whales were pumping it. So there was about 6 or more whales that any given Thursday or whatever at like 4 a.m. they would all like arrange a buy at the same time for like 6K or whatever and send the chart up to like 13 mil or whatever, and then it sell off, and then just repeat that process, basically just farming the liquidity on Swarm Node. But the actual the technology seems like a great idea. It's like it's AI agents that are basically like serverless, so they function through the cloud. Essentially, yeah, deploy serverless AI agents in the cloud, orchestrate collaboration between agents. So it seemed, for a coin on Solana, it has always stood out to me as like, oh, very bullish project, but it's still sitting at a 7.5 million market cap, right next to a lot of the useless memes, which is like crazy to me, because in the past what we've seen is that the users prefer utility, but we don't really see that though.
No,
I
no,
guess
no,
it
no,
was
no.
last cycle we saw
The
that.
yeah, last cycle very
Yeah,
much
and it's
utility.
changed.
Well, no, I also got to rectify this. Last bull
Mhm.
run was, the narrative was DeFi. So that's where you get, when you say like, well, last bull run was utility. Yeah,
Yeah,
DeFi was last bull run.
yeah,
Pretty hot item. I think everybody forgets about this a little bit because we're now gotten so used to it. But DeFi was the number one narrative last bull run, and this narrative, this bull run is going to be AI. So we know this already, right? And
yeah.
that's why these AI tokens are coming up in droves, and some of them want to overlap with meme tokens. So they want to kind of eat from two sides here, and Wild here is like, I see what you're doing, right? And so I'm bullish on the ones who actually have, like Bidensor Tao, right, is doing a lot with these nodes and dragging AI into this, and I'm like, yes, that's actually utility.
Well, huh, I don't know that one. I actually have AI
You don't
16Z
know
up on the
Tao?
screen. Which Tars AI?
Bidensor. No, Tao.
TAO?
Tao. Yeah.
You know, I've
Tao
seen that one.
Bidensor.
I know nothing about it.
Oh, bullish AF. If you do not have this one in your portfolio, I mean, I don't know what you're doing. I know the price looks high, and that's why kind of for people with
They just fade it.
Yeah, a lot of people fade this, but don't fade this. Tau is bitten sore, bullish AF. Go do your own research on. Maybe we should do like a utility show
Yeah.
and do only utilities like this, right? Because I have a lot. I'm looking at 200 to 300 coins daily, looking for my trades. I do future trades, right, mainly, and but I
Oh.
have a lot on the watch list that I'm watching, and I have a ton, of my portfolio connected to that. But
Uh-huh.
here's the thing: sometimes I do not have a bag, but I still think they're bullish, and I'm still going to mention them, right? So
Have you seen the
maybe other people would like to. I cannot hold everything. I wish I could,
uh-huh.
but it doesn't mean I'm not bullish on these things. And if I had long-term DCA plans for the rest, so I'm not deviating from that. But it doesn't mean that I'm not bullish on other things, and I will mention them even if I do not hold them myself, right?
Yeah.
Hold them up to a little bit of scrutiny on why it's bullish,
Yeah.
and why it might be something for you to look at if you still need, if you still have gaps in your portfolio
Mhm.
that need some filling up with some stuff, right? How you build your portfolio. Let's, maybe you should do something with that as well, because a lot of people don't know how to do that either.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a
And
great
let me
point.
let me tell you once again, right? It is that easy. My teen daughter made $63,000 in 2 years just DCAing into two projects, mainly Jasmine and a little bit of Caspa. Two utility tokens, pocket money DCA, and then everything together 40x. So if a kid can do it, I mean, if a kid can do it, so can you. And
Mhm.
this is this DCA strategy and a DCA exit strategy. Right?
Yeah. Well, what I love about that story is that she bought on the way down. What I forget what the market cap was sitting at, but it was 0.007, and then it started dropping 0.006,
Oh
0.005, and
yeah,
every time it dropped, she would tell you, this is the story you told me. She would be
yeah,
excited that
yes,
oh, I can buy more, I can buy more. And so
yeah,
for 2 years she just kept buying the dip. Ooh, I can buy more, and just accumulated. And this is what
yeah,
you have to do, is just follow these simple steps,
yes,
and hold your position and just keep buying more. And then, out of the blue, it ripped, went up
yeah,
45x, and she was holding a bag and was able to sell, and take profit. Like, she was able, and she just followed a simple recipe. It's not complicated,
simple
but
recipe.
it's easy
Timing
to
the market.
overcomplicate.
Yep. And her bags have been up and down all throughout that period. And like I said, I remember she ran into my room in like 23 in May. Uh, Binance sold off a ton of Jasmine because they wanted to do something similar to Jasmine, and so they sold off all the Jasmine and threatened to delist Jasmine. So it was like a bearish immediate candle down, panic selling there, and she saw her bag down like 40%. But instead of being bearish around that and being cranky, she came running into my room. She was like, "I need 3 months." Um, how do you say, like, allowance in advance. I need an advance on my allowance for 3 months. And I was like, why? Because I haven't seen that dip at all. And she was like showing me. She said, I gotta buy more. Like, this is, I need to buy this dip. And
Oh
I was
my
like,
god.
this is the right attitude. Look, I'm gonna gift you this dip then. 3 months ago, I'm gonna gift that to you because this is the right attitude. You need more tokens to be your Jasmine Millionaire goals, because that's what she had, right? And that dip was for her a blessing. That helped her out so much, that dip. And
That's
she was so
awesome.
stoked, and she was like beaming for like a whole week that she got that dip with as much as she got it, because from there it started to go up again, and she was like, oh my god, it's so much right? So she was beaming. I was like, that's the right attitude, and if a kid can do it, so can you. But you got to have a plan, right? And you got to
Hmm.
stick with your plan. And she never looked at charts that much, right? And because, or else she would have asked me for money on every dip, right? Extra money. But yeah, just DCA your pocket money. Just DCA part of your pocket money. You got to buy some crypto. Which projects are you buying? Let's have a look together. What are you bullish on? And this was hadn't anything to do with technology. Her belief was strictly based that she thought Jasmine was a cute name. And then we looked at what Jasmine was about, and she said, I like Japan as well. That's what we
Mm.
got with that, right? And based on that, she started the DCA and never faltered in her faith, just kept going. And for her it was kind of easy because a kid is detached like that. I know, I understand, because I do a DCA strategy as well. And yeah, there are going to be days that you might not feel good about your DCA, that you might think like, oh my god, right,
Mm.
Jesus Christ, right? Is this really going anywhere? I DCA'd XRP all throughout this shit show right there. So I didn't feel necessarily good about every DCA at all, right? Sometimes it really crept into my mind, like, what am I even doing? Still holding on to my strategy here. Isn't it time maybe to look at something else? And I was like, no, this is the plan I made. I got to double down, and then the pumps will come, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so that's based up on your own conviction, and nobody can tell you what to buy. You've got to do your own research, because that brings you that conviction that is going to help you stick with your plan. If you hear from somebody, hey, you got to buy this, and you're going to DCA into this, but it was not built on anything that has to do with your conviction around it, just based on hearsay from somebody else, you are gonna, when the market's down, you're gonna be like, this is bullshit, this token was shield to me, I do not even know what this is, I'm gonna get rid of it, rotate into something else that I see today is more bullish. That's going to happen to you if you do not build your own conviction. And the only way to do that is to do some research yourself. And now, today, we have AI. We don't need to go into discords and this and that anymore. We can ask Grok, hey, what's this about? Is it bullish? Now, if you want to taste some vibes, right, it might still be good to go into TGs and Discord. Maybe you have questions, right? And if you do, then go ahead and ask them, and get catch the vibes, right? But yeah, you got to do that yourself, and it's so easy to do now. So you're really being lazy if you do not, right? Come on, come on, come on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so you will learn the power of this DCA too with your SUI, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that one, that one's definitely watching that one fall from 385 now to two. It's like still sitting at 280, I think today,
Yeah,
285
yeah.
maybe. Or it's at 270 now. Oh, so cool. That's good news for my DCA. So I'm wondering how much further it's going to drop though. One thing I was looking at said it could go down to 180.
90.
I don't. Yeah, 190.
Yeah,
Ooh.
190. There's a zone on 190 too, but before we reach 190, the market's going to have to crash hard. Bitcoin has to crash hard for that to ever happen to the layer ones, right? Because of the dominance.
Yeah.
So, yeah, if Bitcoin does a poopy down, or there's some other black swan event in Sui ecosystem itself, which I never trade on, because that if the sky falls, we're all going to have a bump on our head,
Uh huh.
basically. So I don't trade on that. So let's have a look then at the SUI chart and see where these levels then are.
Yeah.
Um,
The
I'm gonna
sentiment
put in the
on
weekly.
Twitter, it's like everyone is
Yeah.
so people are diehard.
So
Um.
here is my bottom line for short term. If we are going to dump down in the market, we're looking at that 200 EMA that holds pretty well on SUI on that weekly, and that is going to be $2.43. So if they're calling for lower, and that 190 comes then into play, yeah, that is going to be then a double bottom. So if that ever happens, then this is like a sign for me. A double bottom is all in for me in this case. Then, but I see that it has a bullish. Um, how do you say, continuation, and so that 200 moving average should be holding up, and that's on a $2.41. So $2.41 would be the lowest, and I bid there too for SUI. So uh,
Mm.
yeah, yeah, bullish on the weekly, even though there is that stochastic RSI halfway on the down on that weekly. So technically, yes, the 241 can happen. Technically, it can. The technicals say that there's room for it to do so. However, there is short-term arguments that it will not, right? Because on the daily, that stochastic RSI is pretty much floored already. Now, not gonna lie, it looks like quicksand, but so does all the other tokens right now, because Bitcoin isn't quicksand. and that's why, and the dominance is high, so everything adheres to Bitcoin in this way. If you want to know what is alt season, then we got to see. There's really a few rules around it that are pretty clear, right? Pretty clear. Bitcoin needs to pump and the dominance needs to drop at the same time. That is alt season. That will only happen in alt season. It will signal the traders are going in the ecosystem of the rest of crypto, right? And the retail pumping Bitcoin to an all-time high. The retail is buying the big money's bags. Now that is always how it used to be, but now we see something else. Where I think, and some other Bitcoin people think, that we're going to have a prolonged run for Bitcoin. And that is because the mechanisms of Bitcoin itself that we are now seeing to come into play, which we didn't see before, right? And that is the supply squeeze of Bitcoin. And we cannot deny this, right? And we got to, if you're not paying attention to the miners of Bitcoin and what's being mined on the daily and then what's being bought on the daily, there's not enough being mined. 95% of crypto is already mined, right? So there's only 5% left to mine, and they're fighting over it. Russia is the biggest miner, but China wants to get in there. Argentina wants to get it. All these third world countries are going to try and get in on that game as fast as possible. And I am seeing South Africa is now jumping on that train as well, because they can get a leg up with these first world countries that may have not been starting that mining already, right? So this is a race. This is like financial warfare playing out with Bitcoin, and so just do some research on that and just dive into that a little bit so it is obvious to you as well. And so these miners, who are they selling to? They're selling to institutional money, you guys. Institutional money is buying directly from the miners. That should tell you something. Tells us one thing, that we don't have enough Bitcoin. As people, we should have front run them, right? So uh, do with that information. Go and have a dive into that and just see how early we are in this crypto and how we are front running that lot. Now, that is Bitcoin. That's not to say there is going to be, not every blockchain will make it, not every project will make it over time. The only thing that we can be certain of here is then Bitcoin, right? Because all the technology is built on Bitcoin, based on Bitcoin. And that's why we have the Bitcoin dominance, because most of the money is in Bitcoin right now, not in the alts. So, and some alts won't make it over time either. I mean, a lot of people have still projects in mind. They left in the bear market. They come back and they still think that, Terra Luna, Long Classic is bullish because it does all these burns and stuff. But it's really all it is, in my eyes, my opinion, is that they left the bull market, right? When it was bull, turned bear, then they left the market. 70% of people in crypto leave the market, right? And when it flips bear. And so, but they still have that sentiment towards the old tokens because they were never in the bear market learning about all this new technology, learning about all these new blockchains that are coming out that are performing better, that have better technology that's much more applicable in the here and now. And so, they, sure, these projects will still get some volume based upon that sentiment, but they are going to fade on all this new stuff that we are here for. So if you're suffering through that bear, right, just know that when you are connected like this into crypto, you are getting the alpha on what's going to be hot this bull run. And some projects from last run just ain't it anymore, and we got to be honest with that. There's a shit ton of the last bull market that we don't see anymore at all, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they were built and happening back then. But did they keep being alive? Did they innovate? Right? Did they still have an argument for them to be relative? You gotta wonder. So some things you may be holding over time. Sometimes you just gotta go through it and be like, hey, is this still bullish? Or should I just, be a little bit more forward with opportunity in the technology here? So, just something to look at, you guys. But I feel like we kind of dove off a cliff here when it comes to utility and Bitcoin.
Yeah, the trenches are going wild right now. There's let's see,
Trend.
Gore, what is this thing called? Gorgon. It's got some
Oh
weird
Jesus!
name. Gore Bagana So this one's at
Okay.
35 mil.
Oh,
Let me see,
Jesus.
36.5 mil. It's sitting at with 17,000 holders. It's yeah, I don't. It's Oscar the Grouch is the token image. Let me see. So top 10 holders, 12%. Pair created 2 days ago.
Huh.
That is so weird. How is
That
the
looks weird.
top 10 so low? Usually when I see that, but anyway, there's 35 whale wallets holding.
Jesus.
Let me see. Let me double check that. Am
At
I
that
right? No,
market cap?
94. 94 whales are holding at a 36 million market
That's,
cap.
that still sounds a little bit better, but not by much.
Uh, it's
What are
weird.
these doing? What
Very
party are
weird.
these banking on? Well,
And so now there's another one. Now there's a bunch of like knockoffs too. So one that I was just looking at was Gore Guy. So it's like Chill Guy, but it's with the
hmm
gore narrative. And so this is a 1 hour old. This is like straight degen, like trenching. But I'm just looking because of this one. It's almost bonded. This one that's an hour and 48 minutes old Gore Guy. Huh.
wow.
So I mean, this is just what's going on in the trenches right now. I just kind of like glanced onto a deck screener because Oscar the Grouch, apparently, I don't know what's going. Oh no, Oscar. This isn't Oscar the Grouch. So Oscar, this one is sitting at a 1 million market cap. It's up almost 2,000% today. So
Wow.
why? Why is this Oscar? This one has 13 whales holding it. So
Uh,
yeah, this is all basically, just whales like orchestrating together in like
yes.
Telegram channels,
Yes.
inside
Yes. Yes.
trading essentially.
Yeah. Just be careful with those.
Yeah, dude, I've gotten wrecked
That's
bad
my good
trying to
idea.
like ride those waves
13 whales.
because
Which one of you is going to rug me?
yeah, and they
If
do
not a
it. They
company.
all sell at the same time because it's orchestrated.
That's
They
it.
say, "Oh, at 115, we're all going to sell," or like whatever it is, or whatever market cap. At 40 million market cap, we're going to sell, and so it's kind of all
Very.
orchestrated on the
But
back end.
before we end this space, just give a. I just hopped into the TG or just pulled up the TG to see where we were at.
Hmm.
So earlier in the space, as the one of the first project that came on stage was Happiness on Solana,
Yeah,
and it just jumped 100 when they were in the space. It was at a certain market cap. It now just jumped 120K in market cap, right? So if you got a bag. Your bag is happy, right? Is happiness on Solana. Um, who is running the CTO? It's Pinky, and it's Gravano,
mm.
right? So amongst the others, so I was kind of like, all right, cool. If some people in the space are, shilling it to me,
Yeah,
I support because I know that they have sought something bullish, and I'll
right.
go on with you. We can't go wrong with some happiness, I think, right? At least a
Absolutely.
little.
I
At
feel
least
you
a
on
little.
that. Usually, with it, it's like when you come to me with projects, or like there's certain people in this space that when they, coach, for instance, that's an example, that they, you kind of you trust their judgment in terms of being able to vet projects and determine whether something is, has potential or not. That's really what it boils down to when we look at, and what are other people going to think? That's kind of what potential ultimately boils down to is what value are people going to attribute to whatever this is, whether,
Also,
yeah.
yes, also I know very much about the work ethic of these people that are really trying to pump the bags, right? And so
Mm-hmm.
a lot of these friends I know they are going to shill hard, they are going to be in spaces, so I can trust that, right?
You're
Uh,
right.
that they're working, they're grinders. I know them, so it's not just like a little investment in a token, but they are
Mm-hmm.
actually willing to help push this, and I'm like, all right, cool. You know, I'm all about pumping our bags together too. So
Exactly, yeah.
yeah, so that's what we're here for. That's what meme tokens I think should be a little bit like too, right? A little bit of that guerrilla rating and stuff, right? That I think is so bearish if projects are going to hire people to perform rates on X. What are you trying to do here? It's fake engagement AF, and it's not good for the main account to be dragged like that by low quality engagement. It
Yeah.
deboosts the account, right? It's not helpful. If you think rating teams are bullish, think again. They're not. They do a lot of damage, and it's costing a lot of money from the marketing pocket. These things cost anywhere between 150 $300 a day, right?
They
So,
spend
coach,
more
yeah,
on
yeah, go ahead.
they spend more on advertising than they are holding because they want to just suck all the liquidity out of the project. Uh,
Yes.
I'm not talking about anyone in specific, but I'm just saying that method of, oh, let's CTO this. We're all gonna all gonna orchestrate this so that we can front run everyone essentially. But yeah, no, the happiness project is I've seen it on my timeline
Well,
and
usually I'm not bullish on CTOs because of
mm-hmm,
this, right?
yeah,
But for me, it needs to have certain amount of holders
mm-hmm,
and some people who really believe in the project all around,
yeah,
not just because their bags are down, but
right,
because they think it's a bullish ticker, and
yeah,
then they have ideas on what to do, and they're actually making these ideas a reality. I mean, they're out there with the PFP, with the yellow thing and the smiley face for happiness, and they are, you can hear that they are very, very bullish on it. And I'm bullish on people who are bullish on things, right?
mm-hmm,
Because you got to be a little bit, you got to believe, and you got to be a little bit delusional sometimes too. Go against that belief. Coach, you have
absolutely,
your hand up. Let's go.
Yeah, I just wanted to add to here that no rating team is going to work better than people who are actually invested. It is so low effort,
yep,
and yeah, we've tried that on Sol, we've tried that on Sui, but it is a fact that they need a rating school. Like if I'm going to launch something one day, I'm going to launch a rating school
right,
because those people, they have no idea what they're doing. They're not producing real content. Like they all seem like bots, although they are real
yeah,
people.
yeah. Spamming and shilling are two different things. Just spamming,
Yes.
like it's like you're, yeah, so
You're
Shilling is an art. And look, you cannot, like I said, a lot of people don't notice, but X does not like this. Your main coin page is being dragged with fake engagement and spamming, and this is going to flag the account, the main account, as well as being low quality, because low quality content gets low quality engagement. That's the rule in the algorithm of X. So it's not only it's costing money, it's not looking bullish at all because it's very low quality. People are just underneath like, oh, it's such a good project. Let's fucking go, right? It's like, well, what is this? so, and it's low engagement, so it's going to deep boost the main account, costing the project money and then costing you your own engagement. So when you post, you will not be put out in that algorithm because you just deboosted yourself with all these fake accounts that were, you know, accounts that were just made. They don't have a blue tick, right? And it's not to say that you cannot have a blue tick and be bullish. You can, right? Especially if your account is older. And but yeah, crypto is flagged all the time. So yeah, just stop with this. It's not healthy for nobody's account, especially for the main. And the token account should be healthy. It should be posting and then have algorithm reach, and you're cutting yourself, like really shooting yourself in the foot with these rating teams if you're down to that, because that deboosting will cost 2-3 weeks for you to work back up into the algorithm to be even seen again. So that's just alpha. I cannot give it to you any other way. That's how the algorithm works. It's not me. That's how this works in on X. So yeah, dark matter here on stage with us. You're gonna be our last project, so give us a good chill. We are out live on the live stream on YouTube and on X, right? So people are not just gonna hear you, but also see what you got. So if you want us to show something about what you're all about, then go let Tick know what that is so we can show it on a live stream and have people have the visual as well. Welcome.
yes. And hold on, let me so dark matter. I do want to pull up your stuff. I did want to say hello to Scully as well. They've joined us in the space before to shill their project, and I'm kind of intrigued as to what news they might have, but I don't want to sidetrack too much. So let me see. Dark Matter Esports. I'm gonna go ahead and grab your profile, throw it up on the screen, and then let me see. So, and then I'll go ahead and pull up your URL right here. It looks like you guys have a website. Excellent. Very nice. All right, brother. Go ahead and tell us about what we got for Dark Matter Esports. Do we got you on stage with us? You might be muted because no audio is coming through from your side.
Yep.
Okay, cool. I had to change the audio source. Yeah, I
There we
find
go.
myself the spaces with the dog profile pictures. I've been in a couple of them the past couple of nights. All very good people. I'm not so much of a fan of like Web3 like pixel art and pixel games, but I really like these ones. So shout out to you guys for having a really cool community. Above all else, like product is one thing, but community is another. I haven't met one weirdo in these spaces that has that profile picture, so you guys are pretty cool. I don't have too much time, but yeah, I encourage you just to check the project out. Honestly, I wasn't coming up here to really shill, but just to hang out, kind of share the experience of what you guys were talking about. Because I've been on charts for over 10 years now. It started with Forex, and then of course crypto came along later on. So I understand like the fundamentals, the technicalities, things like that. But I encourage you guys to check out like Moby Screener, because like
Oh,
I literally
I
just made
just
a
had it. I just had it on the live. Yeah, that's what I
yeah
was
I
using to. Yeah.
only complaint I have about it is like they need to fix the way that their candles look, because it's like weird looking lines at points if volume is low, but everything else like I can go past the way that the actual look, like the appearance of it looks. But
Mm-hmm.
deck screener is just pay to win nowadays. I think we've all known this for a very long time. However, it's one of those things where like us as a project, it feels like we are forced to do it. And like Wild was saying,
Yeah.
like we try to keep everything organic, and everybody that has had success with a token, the project owners I talked to, I mean, I've talked to DJ and Danny, founder as well, really cool guy, but at the end of the day, he's like, this is the kind of push we're going to make later on. And everything that he stated was just the typical Solana meme coin pump and eventually fall. So it's really a challenge nowadays to find that sustainability, especially for projects like us that genuinely just want to build, see people make money. I tell every holder, I'm like, look, make money on the way up. You don't have to, destroy the chart or anything, but I want you guys to make money. Like the tokenomics are really cool. It burns automatically. I don't even have to sell because I get Solana airdrop to me from volume alone. So like, you know what I mean? Like it kind of like, I don't know. We're just in a weird stage of life right now with everything currently going on. But it's like you got people like us that just want to build and connect more with people, but you won't see that price increase for a very long time. And at the end of the day, that's fine, because I know that I'm making good connections. I'm meeting great people. I'm in good communities with everybody. We've been doing this consistently for months, and our community has been going on since February of 2024. So way before a token was launched, we've been here. We've been grinding. We're partnering with leagues. We do a bunch of different stuff, man. If any of you guys are gamers, man, come check us out. We do have a competitive process as well. You will have to apply, but we have multiple competitive teams, for your mainstream games like Rocket League, Fortnite, Rainbow Six, Call of Duty, things like that. But our project was based solely on the fact that I've been a gamer since I was a kid, and I love crypto. So what is the best way to move those two together? And I'm also a big fan of bringing brand new people into crypto. So I think, like, no disrespect to Web3 gaming, but I think it's kind of standoffish to somebody who's completely new. And even somebody who has experience, in crypto. Like me, I had to really like do some research on like Web3 gaming. Earn this token while you play, but the game just doesn't, everybody's attention span's getting a lot shorter nowadays, especially. But it has to like really grab your attention. So that's when I came up with the idea of like, let's make something where we kind of bridge brand new people into crypto in a really cool way of games that they already play. Um, Obviously, there's no like earning or something from playing like Rocket League or Fortnite, but hey, we have a token for it. It's constantly deflationary. We're all here hanging out. We've done this, for a long time before the token. So we're just trying to add more things on. Like we just got a sponsorship with Glitch Energy. And we want to push towards like AMD, Risen, NVIDIA, things like that next, because they love esport organizations at the end of the day. But I'm kind of on a rant right now. I don't have
No,
too
it's
much
great.
longer to go.
No, that's really
But on
good.
it,
It's good. We need good information. And don't forget, like AI might be the top narrative, but anything with gaming is going to be number two.
Yeah,
and that's just
and they're
that's just
integrating both of
bullish.
those too.
Yeah,
So
so yeah, bullish, right? And like you said, most of the things are coming are here for the big volume to come in, and anything in between is just going to be noise. And sometimes the noise is loud. These pumps and dumps are loud. They're loud on your timeline, and that's okay, right? But if you believe in something and hodl a floor in something, that's actually where you can comfortably make access, right? Because team is working, projects is moving forward, and you can even lend a hand with that by just engaging, and and you know what? When the volume comes in, everything will pump, and that's the thing. Like people saying, like, "Oh, I was in spaces talking about Sui, and I'm talking about Sui a lot because it's a new chain and people need to get to know it. But when I do, it's always people from Solana that come up and tell me, like, yeah, but I'm being bearish on Solana, and I'm like, no, I hold Solana too. I hold coins on. I have Cock Inu on AVAX. I think is bullish, right? I have a, yeah, I hold some on Tron, and I'm all the volume is going to come from for every chain. I don't worry about this, right? This is just how it rolls out in crypto this way. It's not that we point out one thing, the other one doesn't, goes to zero. That's not the way this works, right? But people tend to think in these extremes, and people are very caught up with what's pumping on the daily. And then when your bag's in a pump, you're gonna feel bad about it. I don't think that's the right mindset to be in crypto long term because you're just gonna be upset. Yeah, you have your hand up. You don't. You can. We can just. At this point, we're just vibing out. So.
yeah, for sure. I might I am gonna leave here in a minute, but I'm gonna come back on my phone because I do have to leave the house. But
Well,
um,
we were closing up the space, but you know what? We have this space open every day, and any project is welcome with us to be on stage. We are live streaming on X and on YouTube, so there are a lot more people watching right now on YouTube. If you go there, you can actually see. And so yeah, we have our own website. What's the ticker? We have our own TG. What's the ticker? And sometimes we think it's so bullish when we get the right combination of the visual with the voice and the shill. We can cut it up and put it on Instagram for you, TikTok and YouTube, and give you a little bit more of a boost and a lift there too, because that's what we're doing here. We're not getting paid by any project, right? I just like to be a platform for real projects that are out there grinding and show them, put them a little bit in the spotlight. So we can get away from what's going on the other side. Not to be further named. But yeah, you win, I win. We always have good projects. This is the thing. These communities that come up and stuff. I know when you bought when they were in the space the first time, your bags would be up. Gem, Chidette, 1000X, Fartcoin, right? Sui Booster. What we got happiness today now, right? So,
Mm-hmm.
what was that other token that you were so bullish on? I
Gem?
think it was Gem. It was Gem,
Yeah,
right?
Gem and
So,
Chadette and
yeah,
Soul
yeah.
also.
Yeah. So, all these projects that come here, and, as it turns out, we had some that were less bullish, right? But you can clearly tell that. But we at least expose that. And if you can, build your community through our platform, then we're just bullish on you as well. Yeah, let's go.
Mm-hmm.
So, with that, I'm going to close the space, you guys, because it was leg day for me, and I kind of still need to eat. I kind of feel like I need to eat before before I start raging. Yes, really hangry in space. Can't have that. So yeah, let's go ahead and do this outro thing here. Then let's go. Yeah. What's the ticker? Yeah.
What's the ticker? Where's it at?
Emojis,
What is the
guys.
ticker? Where's it at? I got crypto in the bag, send the CA in the chat. Gonna ape another fat. Got a runner on the map, so line of sniping like a cat. And the Zoe is moving quickly. I'm the squeeze them where they at. I'm trying to bring the Mimquins back. 1000X is gonna land. I got him chilling in the back, and the gas fees are gonna slap. Where's the ticker? Where's it at?
Yes, everybody. Thank you again for joining. Go ahead and follow everybody on stage and follow each other, loving each other, and stay bullish. Tick.
Stay bullish, my friends. Thank you again for joining us. We'll see you tomorrow.
Also on the YouTube, the live stream and on X. Thank you all for watching as well. See you tomorrow.
Let's go.
Let's go.